Hey, good morning. Hey, we had some technical difficulties using an older system, so we're missing the number there, -3 something. The last number doesn't really matter because we're looking for the domain. And what we need to know here is this. The domain is the x's, which means it's -1, -2, and there's a -3 not showing up. So that would be your answer there for that, where the domain is. Your range would be the y's. But it is not a function because the -2's repeat. In order to be a function, none of the x's can repeat. The y's can repeat. Doesn't matter that that's a 1 and that's a 1, but it doesn't matter about those x's. So it's not a function. Not a function. Okay, number 6 here. Look at this graph. I kind of plotted the farthest point left, which is -4, 1. The highest point, which is -3, 3. The lowest point, which is 4, -3. And the furthest point right, which is 5, -1, because that's all I need for the domain, because this is continuous. The domain will simply be the furthest x's left and right. So notice the furthest x left here is -4, and the one right here is 5. So the domain will be -4, 5, and it's a bracket on that 5. Okay, it's a bracket on the 5, and you can't see it. And then also it would be that right there with that. It would be a 5 right there, and I hate that it's not working correctly. Also, the range will be, the smallest one is -3, 3. And notice, we usually read top to bottom, but we need to read bottom to top for range because that's the lower numbers on the bottom. So it's -3, 3, or you can write it like that, and it's a 3 right there that's not showing up also for it. So in this one here, graph a function, basically, this function has a range that saying basically that this is a -y, negative infinity to 0, and y 0 is included in the answer. Here we're looking for, has a positive domain for my x, but 0 is not in the answer. So where is x positive? X is positive here, and the y is negative down here, so we're talking about in this quadrant. So I'm going to make a circle on the x because x is not part of the answer. I can make it anywhere on here, and I'm going to draw a line up where it touches this, and then it goes on forever in down and up. So that's one example of one that would work for domain and range.